My name is Eamon Kelly, and this is my Web 2.02 lesson plan. This is for Internet Tools for the Classroom, Spring 2014. Summary of my lesson plan was this was for my ninth grade World History class. I chose to do a presentation for the content that we just covered. This content was World War I. Students were to create a presentation using Glockster on the causes and effects of World War I. Students would use my blog to access tutorials on registration and using the tool. And I gave each student a hard copy of the rubric, but I also made an electronic copy that they could access through my blog as well. When students finished their assignments, they were to present their Glocks to the class. And after the presentations, students would then take a survey using Google Docs. This is a screenshot of my homepage for my Glockster class. As you can tell, I have over 90 students in my class. I have a couple of examples here that I've created as a tutorial, just how to add things to, how to change the color, how to upload stuff, and then over in the far right I have just an example. That's just one I created as an example for students. Kind of what I'm looking for when it came to you know format and how much is going to be on there and really just showing them what expression I'm looking for, the uniqueness of it. This is a screenshot of my blog where I have the links to my tutorials. Um, we use my blog at least once a week, whether it's for study guides or just for informational things. But I put this information up here for students who may have forgot how to do something and want to go home and do it, or maybe they were absent and they needed to catch up. They could watch these tutorials right in front of them. I also put a copy of the rubric on there as well. So that was, that's beneficial to them. So again, if they were absent or if they lost theirs, they could go back and get another one. This is a copy of my standard rubric. I have 4 categories. Those categories being the most important to me during this project. The GLOG itself being worth 50 points, creativity and use of class time being worth 12.5 points apiece, and then the presentation being worth 25 points. I had to create a separate rubric as well, which that is this one. This is my modified rubric for my students with IEPs and special needs. The difference here is I had them create collages, and you know didn't ask for any text. I just wanted them to express themselves in pictures. Pictures, and if they wanted to add a video, they could. Creativity and class time is the same, and then presentation. I modified this as well to where if they presented, they got a 4. If they didn't, they just got a 3. So I didn't really count off too much for them if they didn't want to present or if they felt like they couldn't present. Here is a link to my Google Doc, which is the survey for my project. I also have a screenshot here just to kind of give you the 3 questions that I asked them. I didn't expect it to take a lot of time, but it was just simple, straight to the point. Are you satisfied? Explain your satisfaction, and then comment on what I could do better as a teacher. Comment how I can make the project better for a future class. So that's all I was asking from them. Here is an example of a student's unfinished glog. I like this student's glog. They really got the concept that I was looking for. They were trying to make it unique. As you can tell, the pictures have borders around them, the different effects, the American flag. So, again, this isn't finished, but the student was really working for the uniqueness and trying to add as much to it as they could. This is the example that I created for the students. It's a little bit more polished. Um, not 100%. It's not great. It's kind of bland, but they got the point of what I was looking for. They could put the pictures anywhere they wanted them to be on the page, add video to it as well. But they got the point of what I'm looking for. I actually showed them some examples from the Glogopedia as well. The Glogopedia being the archive of glogs um, for Glockster.com. So they got a good idea of what I was looking for. Final thoughts. Uh, Project was a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. The first region being that the infrastructure at my school was very difficult to support 30 kids on the Wi-Fi all at the same time. So a lot of our projects, it took us a little bit longer than we thought it was going to. So I'm glad I added that extra day in there just to make sure that those projects got done. But also with the flash players, Glockster requires up-to-date flash player, and I had about 6 or 7 computers that their flash players just weren't updated like they were supposed to be. So I had some struggles with that, but I eventually got it fixed and worked my way out of that one. But also had a student who was banned from the internet for social media purposes. They got in trouble, so they weren't able to use the internet. So they had to do an old school project. So I had to abbreviate hers a little bit, even though she used the same rubric as my standard class. Hers was just for poster board, so the media was going to be a little bit different. Overall, I think it went really well. Students showed some uniqueness, expressing themselves over the topic that I gave them. Um, I definitely think that they learned from my teaching earlier. So this was just them expressing themselves, how they learned, what they learned, and through pictures and media. So definitely going to use this again in the future. Thank you very much.